Hello, I'm Susan Galassi, Senior Curator of the Frick Collection, and one of the co-organizers of our current exhibition, The Spanish Manner, Drawings from Ribera to Goya. This exhibition presents some 50 drawings from the 17th to the early 19th century. It was co-organized by Jonathan Brown, Carol and Milton Petrie Professor of New York University, and Lisa Banner, an independent scholar. The Frick Collection houses 4 paintings by Goya and 1 drawing. Goya is one of the most extraordinary draftsmen the world has ever seen. We organized this exhibition to place Goya's great drawings in a historical perspective, to look at them in relationship to his Spanish predecessors, and also to bring to light the extraordinary achievements on the Iberian Peninsula in draftsmanship prior to Goya's time. To give you a little sample of the kind of graphic excitement you will see in this exhibition, I'd like to say a few words about the drawing in the Frick Collection called The Anglers. It was made between 1812 and 1820 in brush and ink. Your first glance at this work may suggest to you that this work was done very hastily. In fact, it has a very strong element of improvisation, which is balanced by control. And this is one of the hallmarks of Goya's art and of a very great draftsman. If we look at this sheet of paper, we will see that the top part is covered in a brown wash. In fact, he used a piece of paper that had been previously used for some financial record. You might say he could have turned it over and used the unused side. But Goya liked to use markings on papers to prompt his imagination. And in this case, he took his brush, dipped it in sepia ink, and covered over the writing as a kind of spur to his imagination. You can see that he let the brush travel down one side of the painting, creating a kind of enclosure, something that might have suggested a grotto to him, or evidently did. Then the next step was to place figures in this imaginary space. And you can see how carefully he organized this trio of figures, giving them each a very clear identity. We can look at their clothing and see whether they're laborers or gentlemen. We see the various parts of the fishing process. One is sitting and waiting. The other is catching the fish. The other is reeling it in. So there's a lot of information that is given in this drawing. And from that very washy, improvised beginning, you can see that at the end, there's a tremendous amount of control. Look at the fishing line, for example. With one little tiny touch of the brush, Goya makes a fishing line that is as fine as any line you will see in any drawing. So I will conclude my remarks with just this one drawing and invite you to come and to see more of Goya's drawings and to see Goya in relationship to his great predecessors, Ribera, Murillo, and other Spanish masters that you will see on view in this exhibition.